You might be able to see better that way. Hola. What's up, buttercups? Let's do Aries full moon. Aries full moon. Happy full moon. I feel the need to do a Celtic cross for you guys so we can really see what's going on. What's going on? What's going on? You know what I mean, jelly beans? Hello. Hola. What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, day's feeling good. I snapped out of my Aries read. That was tough, but there was a lot of lessons there, and I will tell you, as a reader and me teaching, I picked up on something big time in that reading that is going to help me move forward, not even knowing where I was stuck. Okay, so that just goes to show what a reading can do for someone. And that wasn't even, that type of stuck was totally somebody else's reading. It wasn't even like mine, right? It was like, that's someone else being stuck in something that was big and heavy. But with me, what I figured out was reciprocating. And I guess we're not always good at that. I gotta take Lucy, I gotta let Lucy out. It goes back and forth, like, I don't know, it was just kind of like, it was totally eye-opening for me. Like, that wasn't, that Aries, like, it wasn't my story. I'm not, like, stuck like that, but this is something I realized for probably years that I've been holding back on, like, and it's the little things, right? So it's like, all right, so in order to really explain how it affected me, I guess I'm just gonna have to tell you. So, and this is important, so don't fast forward through and look for a timestamp, okay? I've been going through my own thing for years, right? So this is just a classic scenario on how you can take one reading and put it into good use and have that tiny little epiphany moment, right? So I don't know everybody else's scenario because that was a whole big giant scenario for that reading, right? So it's like, I know, I feel like I'm not even channeling me, and it's like, it's so personal. It's like, I almost don't even want to tell you, but if I'm here to teach you guys, so it would be absolutely ridiculous not to share this with you. I've had my ups and downs, divorced 5 years, yada yada. I've had my in and outs, I've had my go-to, I've had my boy toys, I've had yada yada. Whenever it gets to like a boyfriend stage or a couple or a commitment, I fucking panic. I want to run, but I want the relationship too, right? Because it's what I want, it's what I crave. It's just, I've earned it, I've done the work, right? But then it's like, all of a sudden I feel like I'm preparing myself for something, and because I've been seeing someone for a few months, whether it works or not, I'm just at this stage where I'm like, holy shit. Like I said, because we've kind of been a little stagnant here and there, you know, and it's because I wanted more, he wasn't ready for more, all sorts of reasons, guys, and we're just kind of sticking it out and see where it goes. But I said to him, I don't know, a week or two ago, like, I miss the good mornings, I miss this, because we kind of got in a rut and focused on one subject versus what we really should have been focused on. And this morning, I picked up the phone when I woke up and I texted good morning. And I kind of got like a little chatty, and I don't normally do that. And I was so stubborn, So damn stubborn. And I, you know, it's like I was expecting him to do it. You know what I mean? And, you know, it's stuff like that where he was doing it, so I just expected him to keep doing it. Okay. I lost focus because somebody wrote something, so just focus with me for a minute. So I decided to do it. And then throughout the morning, I'm picking up on things like, how can I create balance if I'm not willing to give and take? And it was actually hard for me to be that person and be like, okay, well, if this is what I want, I laid in bed last night and I thought to myself, well, let me manifest it back. But that's so fucking stupid. Why sit here and manifest that type of thing back when I have the capability of doing it myself? And reaching out and saying good morning and not just being stubborn and waiting for him to do it because it's been a couple weeks since we've done that. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been off. So, and it's not a bad thing. It's just we are where we are and exactly where we need to be, where we're at. So it's not like a big deal. It's just I picked up on something like that. So it's like that stuck energy. I've been stuck in my own head thinking that he should be the one to continue to do that. But in order for anything to have an even give and take and to have some type of balance, you know what I mean? You also have to give, you know? So it was just that little light bulb moment I had within that Aries reading where it's like, holy shit, like commitment probably is coming. And I run from it. And it takes a special person to be patient with somebody else. Because it's like after that reading, I went and kind of explained myself and I said certain stuff. And because it threw him off too, like, whoa. And it's not in a bad way at all. Just like, holy shit. Like, but I realized I have to partake in it too, even though it's scary and it's a risk. And it is a big risk to go my route without even having a commitment. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's me preparing for something that is either coming or not coming. But it was still a lesson for me right there that I picked up on in that read. In order to create some type of balance, I also have to give. I can't just say I want and not act on it. So it was kind of eye-opening for me. And that wasn't even my freaking scenario like that. You see what I'm saying? But I took something from it and realized in order to have that, you can't just sit there and manifest something back. You actually have to create it too. And it was something so little, like just saying good morning. And I don't even think it was me being stubborn. I think I just didn't realize that I had to do it on my part too. But because of where we're at, I didn't really want to do anything on my part because it was probably too risky and I could get hurt. So it's like, whether I have a commitment or not, I still chose to take that risk. Because how can we even grow, bond, and evolve if he doesn't see action on my side besides I want. Okay? So that is a big, it seems so little, but it was such a big deal to me to even reach out and be like, good morning. How silly does that seem? When, like, literally when I was in bed trying to manifest it back, and all I had to do is be the person to do it. How do I know he wasn't waiting for me to turn things around, to shift things, when I'm sitting here thinking it's all on him? So that Aries read was a big deal. If I didn't read that, I probably wouldn't even have came to that epiphany, to be honest with you. And there's such a bigger thing on the board, but I still took something so little, but it's actually going to change things you know? And now I'm sitting here like, oh my God, now I got anxiety. Like, I want to attract everything I fucking said. Like, honestly, like, I could want to know why? Fear. Fear. Because I have no choice but to take a leap of faith. Even your readers go through their own shit and learn things, and it just takes reads like that once in a while to have something click. But it also taught me something about taking a leap of faith. It taught me something about actually manifesting. The magician's out, right? So we're just like, oh, well, manifest it. And then I'm laying in bed and I'm like, oh, I'll manifest it back. And then this morning I'm like, in order to manifest something, you also have to interact and be part of it and create. So if I'm not going to partake, how would I even expect to create something? So just something just as little as that just made a major impact on how I look at manifestation. You know? And it's just like, Jesus. And then everything else is just fear. You know? But I've been saying to this person what I want for months. But I haven't been showing him what I want or acting on what I want. Because I thought he needed to do the work. But in order for him to really want what I want or see what I see or see what we both see, he needs to see something on my end. And that just never occurred to me. Honestly, I just thought I had that part down, but it never occurred to me until today. You know, what was his reaction? Oh, it was extremely positive. Me and him were a lot more than friends, but I'm just saying, like, it was positive. I'm sure he was probably like, this is great. You know, because everybody needs that person or somebody who's going to acknowledge, wow, like, you know what I'm saying? Does that all make sense to you guys? Like, I thought there was so much work on his end, and he still has a lot of work on his end, right? But like, and I'm not perfect, but I teach and I preach all this stuff, and now I'm realizing, Court, you actually got to do it too. You can't just expect him, or you can't expect to evolve if you're not going to take a risk and push through. And I am incredibly lucky because I could cry. He's so incredibly patient with me. So I can't even talk. We forget little things. So I hope you can take something from this. I'm not sad. I'm just more like, I'm just realizing that it's my own fear, my own past, my own pain. It's my own shit that we have to face. And it's just little things like that can make such an impact. You know what I mean? I have my shit, he has his, but I'm telling you, like, so when it comes to manifestation and stuff like that, like, I've taught you these tools and you've learned your own way, right? So take these tools that we've learned and take a risk and use it. Be that magician. You can't just sit there and hope and wish and dream for something to come together if you're not going to do it. So I think we look at the magician as it's magical and we've manifested something. But then you got to figure out how to keep it alive. We forget about that. The little things we're forgetting. You know? So I guess I'm just grateful that I came to that realization over something so little, because I was so stubborn and I was just wishing that we could get back to that. But it never occurred to me for me to take that initiative because it was too risky. And then I told myself, if you really do want it, you have to be willing to take the risk. And that's going to come with fear. So, there's that. So I hope my experience and the way I just explained something helps someone. You know, because I'm not even in that massive struggle that was on the board. Mine was just little, but still huge. See what I'm saying? So I just hope you take something from that. Yeah, and it's hard to take that risk. It's risky. I can get hurt, but you know what? If I say I want, and I'm not acting on it, then how the fuck is anything gonna evolve? And I'm sure he and millions of you are going through the same exact thing. I just happen to have that little light bulb moment, but it was big enough to make an impact. It's like, fucking damn. So I think I'm gonna leave this video as a quick, like, learning something. I don't know what I'll label it, but I kind of want it to be separate because I want to take my energy out of the full moon read that we're about to do. Okay, but I'm definitely going to leave the video up because there's a massive valuable lesson of what you can take from something if you look at something differently, you know. And I think it's a massive lesson on manifestation. Honestly, because we all have these things where teachers would teach this way and that way. But that was an epiphany for me to realize when it comes to manifesting. I preach you have all these tools, but if you don't actually use them, it won't work. So it's literally like a breakthrough on something that needs to be done. And we all have the capability to do it when the magician's out. That makes sense? So I want to keep the full moon reading separate. So I know there's 70 of you. So give me like 2 minutes and I'm going to pop right back on. All right. Love you. I'll be back. Give me 2 minutes.